I recently went on a last-minute trip to San Francisco, which is considered one of the wealthiest cities in America. Naturally, I did no research or planning before I went, classic me, so instead, I did our generation's version of doing actual research or work. I asked you guys on Instagram for tips on what to see and do.
Yeah, I'm taking a last-minute trip to San Francisco. Never been, done no research. If you have any tips, please let me know.
Now, I did get lots of great touristy tips, which made for a great time, and I went on an Instagram-worthy trip.
We just drank a lot of coffee.
I felt like a true influencer.
Alright, we made it to the top of San Francisco right now. These hills are crazy.
I saw the Golden Gate Bridge,
Golden Gate Bridge,
Alcatraz, the Golden Gate Bridge, those houses that's in every movie ever, more of the Golden Gate Bridge, and apparently I liked the views.
Just cannot get over the views here. Look at this view.
The view is just...
Can't get over the views. Best views I've ever viewed. Better view. Cool view. Views are just view. The view.
The view is just unbelievably stunning.
Outstanding.
As you can tell, I have a very impressive vocabulary.
Die for this kind of a view.
I even learned some lessons along the way.
Holy shit, I thought these things were extinct. Is that the dumbest thing I've ever said? What are these, bison?
I honestly thought these things were extinct. I thought they were like buff. I don't know what I'm saying wrong here, but I'm saying like the dumbest thing ever. What's the one that's extinct? I'm guessing these are buffalo and they're not. Wait, let's check this sign.
Okay, American bison, last living American treasure. So they are still alive.
Well, you live and you learn. Apparently bison are not extinct. They still live in the Great Plains of Golden Gate Park, San Francisco.
But I didn't want just an Instagram-worthy visit to San Francisco. I wanted some adventure, something real. So as I sat in this cool hipster coffee shop I discovered, it's called Starbucks. Go check them out if you're ever in San Francisco. I'm definitely going places. I remembered one of the Instagram stories I had received. One story had stood out. Adam Redmond, a YouTuber from Ireland, check him out. He said I should go check out the Tenderloin, that it would give me a new perspective on life. Now, I heard stories of the Tenderloin before. I don't know what's the politically correct term to use, but apparently the Tenderloin is the most kind of dangerous, dodgy area of San Francisco. I've always heard stories about the issues with homelessness, can't even say that word, and crime. So it was time to end this tourist trip and go on an actual adventure.
I'm kind of sick of going around seeing all these beautiful places when I know that San Francisco has one of the biggest, if not the biggest, homelessness problem in America.
But it'd be irresponsible to make such a big life decision without properly thinking it through. So instead I decided to ask you guys on Instagram what you thought of this idea, knowing full well that you'd probably like to see me end up as a tragic headline on the news. So as the sun was setting and it was about to get dark, I decided let's go check out the Tenderloin, the infamous dangerous neighborhood in San Francisco.
Okay, I just put it out on my Instagram asking people, should we go to the Tenderloin? It's sunset and I'm curious to see what people will think. I told them it's really dangerous. I'm sure most people want to see me go to the Tenderloin and probably get killed, but I've decided, regardless of what people are saying, we're going to cycle down to the Tenderloin and probably get the bike and everything else stolen off us. I'm not trying to be presumptuous or anything, but from what I've heard, it's not a safe place. But people are often kind of wimps though, I'll be honest. Things are often not as dangerous as people make it out to be. That's the moment I'm going to regret saying when I get everything stolen. We could be way overdoing this. It might not even be that bad.
I don't unlock this thing. I'm an absolute idiot.
Alright, I figured it out. Let's go. It's like a really good city for cycling. Except for the fact it's all hills. But it's actually just, apart from that, it's a good city for cycling. He's riding a unicycle. Please be more San Francisco. Look at this dude. The first thing I see heading towards Tenderloin is sirens. This is a good sign. Officially entered the Tenderloin, and those sirens was the entrance to the Tenderloin, so we're in it already. I think I'm gonna have to stop using AirPods because it's just like asking to be robbed. Yeah, I'm getting rid of these things, and I also look like a douche. It's already sketchier here. Literally, like we're 1 block away from where I was a minute ago, where it looked nice. I'm gonna cycle around on this first to get a lie of the land. From what I've heard, it's like incredibly dangerous on some streets and normal enough on other streets. Not all of Tenderloin, it's just certain areas. Because there are definitely already some people like eyeing me up, like over across the street and shit, like eyeing me up pretty weirdly, like I'm looking at, because I'm recording this on my phone. So like it's going to be kind of hard to record things here, because like I don't want to be walking up to people who might be homeless or dangerous or something like that. I'm not trying to like be disrespectful either, but like I don't also, if some people are dangerous, I don't want to be just like walking up to them and trying to film them. It's just asking to get my phone robbed, or worse. But at the same time, I might try and get some like covert shots for you guys, just to kind of give you a feel for the place. Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like, some of this definitely seems okay. It doesn't seem that bad, you know? But then there's other parts where it definitely seems sketchy. Like, sun is setting right now, and there's some of this where I feel like you wouldn't want to be alone at nighttime. It just occurred to me that these rental bikes are like screaming tourist. So it might be a better idea to just ditch the bike and walk around. I'm a pretty fast runner anyway. It's weird though, some of these areas are like, okay, oh, why did I just ring my bike bell? That screams like I'm a little bitch. It's weird, it's like every couple of blocks it changes drastically. I'm gonna try and get some more footage of the dodgy area. Let's go back up there and ditch the bike. Honestly, just from getting the lie of the land from cycling around, there's some streets, kind of where I am now, which are really sketchy. And then there are other streets which are like fine. So I've come back up intentionally to the sketchy area so we can walk around here. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film myself talking because this is so obvious when I'm talking like this to like a vlogger, and it's just so asking for someone to rob your phone out of your hand. Some areas it's kind of a weird mix of like normal-ish people and people have mental illnesses, but other areas are just like really, really dodgy. It's getting dark though. Well, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. It's getting dark mighty fast. There's definitely going to be some sections of this where I'm going to be shitting myself.
People are often kind of wimps though, I'll be honest. Things are often not as dangerous as people make it out to be.
You gotta get up on my Hey, y'all dressing the part shit. Come on, to work the part.
It's a bit weird, I'll be honest. It's really like, it's very sad, honestly. Okay, I've heard Turk Street is the worst, apparently. So I'm gonna go walk down there now. Let's see what happens. No idea what to expect. I'm sure at nighttime it would be much worse. It's kind of nighttime now, it's pretty bloody dark. Literally got a message from a guy I know who's from here. He just said, you're gonna get stabbed. Which is not really making me feel good.
So on my way up to the most dodgy area of the Tenderloin, I discovered this place called the Tenderloin Museum. It looked closed, but I just kind of snuck in anyway, because I wanted to know if the Tenderloin was actually as dangerous as people said.
I just found a place called the Tenderloin Museum. It'd be interesting to learn the history of this place. Quick question. So what is this? This is a history of the Tenderloin.
Yeah, totally.
Like I did very little research before I came, especially for the Tenderloin district. I know very little.
Yeah.
A lot of people told me don't go there. It's a dangerous area.
Yeah.
And would you consider like Tenderloin dangerous?
I mean, certain areas like there's a lot of like drug dealing activities and stuff. There's a lot of like deaths in the Tenderloin.
Which streets would be the worst? Or is it I heard Turk Street's pretty?
Yeah, like Leavenworth, like Turk.
Leavenworth, and that direction?
Yeah. Were you with the group or anything? Or?
No.
She was a little bit surprised I was here by myself. Turns out it's not a good idea to explore the Tenderloin at night by yourself. So what do you think this genius decided to do?
I think I'm going to stick around to see what this place gets like late at night. I kind of want to spend the night in the Tenderloin district, which is kind of insane.
I feel like you wouldn't want to be alone at nighttime.
It's probably a really dumb move. Sorry, Mom and Dad, you'll probably kill me once you see this. Here's the thing, this isn't a terrible idea. Honestly, the whole point of this is to kind of have an eye-opening experience and to see what some people live like. Even in a city like San Francisco, which looks like paradise and looks idyllic, and it's probably the richest, most expensive city in America. I think if we spend the night walking around here and see this place what's properly like at night, it's going to be really eye-opening. Honestly, it's just more sad than anything else. Like, you do feel a little bit in danger sometimes, but it's really sad. I can't really film myself too much because it really attracts attention. I'm actually already attracting more attention. I obviously stand out a bit. My big Irish blonde head, looking dumb and looking around all curious. So I was already attracting a bit of attention up there. That was one of the dodgy areas. That was like really weird up there. So I'm gonna try and go back there in a minute, but like there's just a couple of guys staring the absolute shit out of me up there. So I kind of decided to keep walking and maybe we'll try and make a second pass in a minute. But for now, we're gonna just keep going along Turk Street. I heard Turk Street's pretty.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
None, thanks. So that girl just started asking me what I'm looking for. I think that was more of like an offer of drugs or something else. But yeah, I must already stand out. Fuck me.
And boy, did I stand out.
Hey, come here.
No, I'm good, thank you. Alright, this is getting pretty sketchy. And the more I talk on my phone like this, I'm putting myself in a bad position. I think I'm gonna go one more time now that it's pretty late. This is going to be the worst bit, but I think I'm going to do one last stint up the really bad part of Turk Street.
Drug dealing.
Where I was getting really eyeballed earlier on.
A lot of like deaths in the Tenderloin.
This could be a terrible decision.
You smart.
I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to try and go up here one last time and hopefully it works out and then we can get the hell out of here. Okay, let's do this. Right, I'm right in the worst part of it now. Time to get out of here. Honestly, you want me to be brutally honest? I think most of me being scared, not all of it, like I'm not an idiot. Like I know it can be dangerous in places like this. Most of me being scared is like in my own head. I think most of the people I've seen here are actually pretty friendly. A lot of them have mental illness, it's very clear, but like I think most people here, they're not out trying to harm people. They're not trying to rob people. They're like, it's probably unfair of me to be feeling like it's so dangerous. Like a lot of these people don't seem like they would be. Don't want to make them out like they are if they're not. Like a lot of the people there, they seem like just like nice people. Like they almost seem like they have their own community. They're all just like hanging around chatting and laughing, and so I feel bad if I'm making it out worse than it is, but it is clearly not like a good place. And there are clearly a few people at least who are pretty dangerous, I think. And I kind of really want to go up and try and talk to people. Like I'd like to go up to people and try and talk to them and get their story. But I think if I was trying to do that and film it at this time of night, I'd be really just like opening myself up. Actually just trying to get a genuine perspective on things. And I feel like to do that, the best way would be to just try and talk to some of these people. But maybe doing that by myself, with no one else even in the city, is maybe not the time to do it while I'm also trying to film. That seems kind of stupid and naive to even try. So I'm sorry if I'm not giving these people justice. I just don't think I can really interview people tonight.
Then I decided, screw it, let's give it a shot. So I made another genius level decision and decided, let's go talk to some people.
Hey, young man, how's the weather up there?
How are things?
Where are you from?
Ireland.
You have that accent.
Are you from San Francisco?
You're born and raised. 7 sisters, 5 brothers, 93 nieces and nephews.
Wow. Holy shit.
I'm the one in the middle. How long are you going to be here? You need to come back here.
I want to.
I
wish
can show
could.
you things.
You probably know this city better than anyone.
Every nook and cranny.
I met this really nice guy and he told me all about his life growing up in San Francisco. I started asking him what the Tenderloin was like.
Does this whole like area stay lively all night?
Of course. All night long.
All night?
Till sunup.
Now I was having a good time chatting with Ricky,
Bam, bam, bam.
but things around us were getting a little bit tense.
It used to be, listen, don't worry about it.
And it was very late, so it was time to hit the road.
I'm Connor. Nice to meet you.
I'm Ricky, look.
Nice to meet you, Ricky.
All right, Connor.
I have failed to capture even some of the really weird moments, like when people are interacting with me just like suddenly out of the blue. Like one guy just like walked straight up to me, like right in my face, and was like, "You see my woman? Tell her you didn't see me." Kind of glad to get out of here now. I just want to make one thing clear: like I'm not here to mock or even make anyone look bad. Honestly, this is just to give perspective to myself and just to anyone else maybe who watches this. But yeah, I'm not like judging these people. I'm not trying to make them out to be bad people or anything. It's just, it is tragic to see a lot of people living like this, especially people with like mental illnesses, because there's a lot of people here like that. Okay, many hours later, we are finally out of the Tenderloin district. I don't know, I might just give my thoughts later when I'm back somewhere else, because right now, I just want to get out of here, to be honest, and mull it over a little bit. My main thoughts are, it's just tragic, and it's really sad. That was an experience. So this is Union Square. This is like a big shopping area, and I think a lot of tourists come here. I've been recommended it multiple times. And the Apple store is right there. And I'd say we're only a few blocks from Tenderloin district, which is so poor. And this is like literally right next door. All these like rich people and rich tourists just spending so much money on shit they don't need. It's just crazy that literally all this wealth, Macy's, Tiffany, they're right next door to the Tenderloin district. Honestly, there's probably something beautifully symbolic about like rich tech, which is what makes San Francisco so expensive, like Apple and all these companies, and this whole area being right next to the poor people.
Die for this kind of a view. If you enjoyed this video, I have some crazy adventures coming up in the next few. So hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss them. And please like the video because it really does help me out.